Development Officer from Bunkpurugu-Nakpanduri District. And I'm here to present to our probably key actors in the business trade, what our district has, and the kind of opportunities that potential investors within our midst can have. Okay, by presentation outline, my presentation includes a brief profile of our district, as we have a lot of people who may not even know the profile will give a little bit of highlights on it. And then also, I'll also into the content of the strategic plan. The plan is made up of 5 sections, where we have the first being investment readiness assessment. Then also investment opportunity identification, investment strategic development, investment facilitation and support services, then monitoring and evaluation. So by way of brief profile of Bunkpurugu-Nakpanduri District, it is part of the 6 districts that were carved out of the then northern region. So we have West Bunkpurugu, we have East Bunkpurugu, we have Bunkpurugu-Nakpanduri, we have Chereponi, we also have Bunkpurugu-Nakpanduri, then our junior brothers, Yuntoo. Okay, so it was, the Yuntoo district was carved out in 2018 by an airline 2043, and the capital still remains Bunkpurugu. Then we share boundaries with Garu in the Upper East to the north, then the Republic of Togo to the east. We also have the west, East Bunkpurugu, and to the south we have Yuntoo and Chereponi. This is where my district is located within the regional context. Then this is the district map, where we have highlights of some of the communities in the district. Then we also have the climate situation of the districts, where we said it is tropical continental belt, and normally our rainfalls normally starts around April to October, and we also have drainage. The white water enters the district from the northeast, and the population, we have 82,384 from the Ghana Statistical Service, and this is the 2021 census figures for the district. Sex breakdown, we have males making out of 40,404, then female 41,980. Then the majority of our population, about 56%, falls within the age bracket of 50 to 64. Then the investment plan strategy, as I do indicated, during Doc's presentation, he highlighted on the project, the essence of the project, and what it seeks to achieve. And today's program is not far from the objectives of the program, which is organizing a forum which includes the private sector for district assemblies to highlight some of the potentials or the investment opportunities within their districts. So this project started when the 8 districts were taken to a toolkit that highlight or which give guides to the districts on how to prepare this investment plan. So the objectives, as I indicated, the first section is investment readiness. So the purpose of this is to highlight how ready my district is for investment. So So we said this section of the strategy is to carry out an assessment to determine the investment readiness of the districts. So with this, it requires creative assessment of the current economic trends and the growth of the district and the business environment. So with the economic trends, we looked at the main drivers of the economy, which is agri-industry and then service. So with the trends from 2021 being the base year to 2024, which is the current year, we have agri and then the figures or the trends of growth within from the year to year. We have industries, we also have service. So by percentage, what we are seeing is percentage. So from 2021, the agri sector had 77% in terms of growth. Then 2022, it reduced to 73. 2023, it reduced further to 70, and then 2024, it increased to 86. With the 2 years that the district recorded a decline in the growth of the agri sector was as a result of it being blacklisted from the key government program, which is the Planting for Food and Jobs, the subsidy component. The districts within these 2 years did not benefit from that project. As a result, it affected the production of the agri sector. And then also, when you look at the increase in 2024, 2024, the district received a lot of support from the agri sector, a lot of fertilizer subsidies, and then also it being an election year, most of the political parties supported farmers in terms of agrochemicals and other inputs. So this contributed to the growth in the area. So this is the performance by commodities. So we have soya, we also have granite, we have maize, we have rice, and then cashew plantations. And this analysis is done in 3 years, 2022, 2023, and then the current crop season, that's the 2024, or the just past crop season. Then the industry sector, it is mainly agro-processing. Our districts, the industrial area is mainly agro-processing, even though we have other areas like the traditional crafts, blacksmithing, and then other traditional activities homeware. But the main drivers of the economy is the agro-processing. So we have the yields by year. We also have the service sector, which we have tabletop wholesalers, tractor operators, local radio stations, business, secretariat. We also have the transport services. We have catering. We also have financial services. With the financial services, we have rural banks. We also have village savings and loans and the cooperative credit union, which is at I think Nalego. No, Nalego is not part of the district, but that's the regional capital, and the district is not that far from it. So cooperative societies do have services with the union. This is a continuation of the economic trends and growth under the services. So we have health facilities breakdown. We also have public schools, private schools, the number and then the number. Okay, so in assessing the business and investment environment, the district rely on projects from the central bank and also non-governmental organizations. Some of the projects are, we have the New Start, we have the Ghana Productive Safety Net, we also have the Gulf of Guinea Northern Region Scope, Social Cohesion as the SOCO project, and we also have other NGOs who are also contributing in the business areas of the district. So there are a lot of available facilities and services that the Assembly, and for that matter the districts, render to businesses to promote local economy. So some of these services include the Assembly facilitated in the construction and upgrading of feeder roads within the districts to link market centers to farming communities through the Ghana Productive Safety Net project. This project is basically into feeder roads. So the Assembly facilitated. They normally identify potential communities that had a lot of potentials, and we recommend for projects like linking the community to the urban centers within the districts. Then we also have construction of market stores. So when you go to Bunkpurugu, we have 12-unit classroom that is built under the SOCO project. And this is rented to private entities. So by way of supporting, or the district supporting businesses, this is one of the key support that the Assembly provides. We also have one at Nakpanduri. We also have 6 units lockable stores. That one is still under construction at Bunkpurugu. Then the Assembly also facilitates business registration at the office of the registrar of companies. So we have the PAC, now the Ghana Enterprises Agency. They facilitate business registrations and they provide services with regards to registration of businesses, renewals, and other related services. The financial unit of the Assembly also support in issuing business permits to potential investors. Then expansion of rural electrification projects. Assemblies, particularly our Assembly, provide role in supporting or facilitating the expansion of electricity to rural communities. We also have availability of storage facility at Bunkpurugu. We have a warehouse that was built under the One District, One Warehouse project. Regulations and legislations. I think during Don's presentation, he mentioned that one of the key factors that normally affect the existence of our enterprises, the sole proprietor and the other SMEs, is bureaucracy and also a lot of regulations that normally require bureaucratic processes. But then regulations also helps in attracting investments in an area, especially when it comes to international. And assemblies provide key role as part of the services that we render. In the past slides, I indicated that the Assembly normally issue business permits. And this is part of the regulations and the legislations in Ghana. So when you look at Local Government Act, it indicated strongly that before you operate a business within any authority, you have to seek permission. And the permission is granted in the form of the business permits. So the Assembly will issue you the business permits, indicating that they have given you that permission to operate your business within the Assembly. That is, if that business is in line with the general, overall laws of the country, which is the 1992 Constitution. We also Public Financial Management Act. This act also provides and laid out processes for the preparation, approval, and then execution of national budgets. These national budgets normally have what we call the fee fixing. And these fee fixings it normally issue guidelines in terms of charges with regards to what I have just mentioned, the business limits. If an investor is coming into your district to invest or to operate the business, how much is he supposed to pay? All these things is indicated in the Public Financial Management Act. We also have the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, and it governs foreign investment in Ghana, and not only foreign investment, but also local investors. We have the industry and the trade regulation, which is regulated by the Ministry of Trade and Industry. We also have the Ghana Free Zone Act. We also have the Ghana Tourism Authority, EPA, the Labor Act, the Company Act, and then also we have district bylaws. And the districts, currently we have a draft bylaw that we are working on to finalize and then submit for gazetting. So these are the regulations and then the legislations that is governing the business environment within the districts. Then section 2 of the strategic plan, we have the investment opportunity identification. So with the investment opportunity identification, what we normally do is that we do what we call sectorial analysis, where you pick sector by sector and you analyze the potentials or the kind of investment that is within those sectors. And our area being agri-domain, our analysis falls on crop cultivation. We have the food crops, millet, sorghum, maize, and cowpea. They are the dominating during our analysis. We realize that it dominates with regards to the sectoral analysis matrix. We took each of these commodities that is being listed. We looked at the competitive advantage that the district has against other districts within the region. Then we also have the market demand. Then we have the existing infrastructure and the resources that is available within the district. So when you look at cowpea, in terms of production, the district has 9,503.19 metric tons for the just past harvesting season. When you look at our neighbors, for instance, Yuntoo and Garu, we had 4,890 for Yuntoo, then we have 5,678 for Garu. And this can be attributed to the nature of the climate nature of our area. For all those who know Bunkpurugu, you know it is dominated by rocky, and this supports the growth of cowpea. Then in terms of market demand, locally there is a high demand for cowpea. And the just ended season, I was told by our Greek unit that the district even falls short of supply. There was demand for the beans and it was not readily available in the market. The existing infrastructure and resources, we have skilled labor force, we have ready markets, we also have storage facility, and this serves as a potential for large-scale commercial farm. Then also there is an opportunity for value addition and processing. The next commodity is cashew nut. The district has a lot of cashew plantations, and the Ghana Productive Safety Project also established at least 3 cashew plantations in 3 communities within the district. We have one at Pemali. We also have one at Pentau and then Nanyara. The current demand for cashew nuts within the district was 12,000, and the district was supplying 8,232. And with this, I think within the next 2 years, we will be able to meet or exceed even the current demand. Because as I mentioned, the site at Nanyara is yet to bear fruit. And when it starts bearing fruit, I think there will be a lot of cashew nuts within the plantation that can augment the short stages. We also have millet production. The district produced 9,503 metric tons in 2024, as against our 2 neighboring districts, which is Yuntoo and Gawo. So during the sectorial analysis, we do what we call ranking, prioritization and then ranking. So from the scale of 1 to 3, with 3 being high score, we took the 3 commodities through and then cowpea emerged first with a total score of 19. Cashew was next with 14. Millet, 9, being the third. The revenue forecasting. We looked at the prioritized commodities. We took it through financial feasibility study, and then this table shows the outcome of our financial feasibility study, where we have the projected years from 2024 up to 2027. Then we were looking at the area in production, then expenditure, then total cost of production, yield per hectare in terms of metric tons, then total production, then price per kilo, total revenue, and then we have our net profit. The same was done for cashew and that of millet. Then we have section 3 of the strategic plan, where we did what we call investment strategic development, where we looked at the overall goal of the district in terms of the local economic development. And it is stated, or when you look at the goal of the district, is to build a prosperous district. Then the objectives is to transform the district by 2026 into a hub of agro-business, to also foster an environment where business can thrive, contribute to the overall prosperity and well-being of the local population. So this strategy directly will ensure that the district becomes a model of inclusive growth, tapping into its natural and human resources to create a lasting economic opportunities. So we did SWOT analysis where we looked at the strengths that the district has, the weakness, the opportunities that potential investors may have, and then the threats. So with the strengths, we have availability of raw materials for agro-processing. For instance, when you look at the cashew nuts, company can come in and then process the nuts into cashew oil. Even the nuts can be fried, and then it can serve as snack and other opportunities, not only at the cashew aspect, even the cowpea, and then the millet. With the millet, it can be processed into packaged Hausa cocoa and other neat flours. Then we also have strong agricultural tradition and local knowledge. Yes, when you go to the rocky communities, you notice that the farmers has a way of planting their, especially the cowpeas, within the rocky areas. And the yield in those areas is good. The fertile land and favorable climate for diverse agriculture or crop cultivation. Then we also have support from government policies and programs. With the weakness, we have limited access to advanced farming technology and equipment, for instance, tractors and then harvesters and planters. Then low level of mechanization and irrigation, as I indicated. Mechanization within the district is still low, so potential investors can come into that area in terms of agri-mechanization. Maybe mechanization center can be created within the district. There are limited access to credit and financial services for farmers. As I indicated, we have one rural bank, but it has two branches. One is in Bunkpurugu, the other one is in Nakpanduri. Aside those two, except the credit unions, that is at Nadergo. So these are the only financial institutions that provide financial services. With the opportunities, we have increasing demand for processed agricultural products, as I indicated. Then also potential for exports and market expansion. Yes, the district, as I indicated during the profile, a share boundary with Togo, and for that matter, there is that opportunity of exports, availability of investment incentives and support. I do indicated that the assembly had market stores. Aside that, we also render other business supported services like registrations and the issuance of permits. So with this, there is a great potential for public-private partnership. With the threats, climate condition, and unpredictable weather pattern is part of the threats. Pest and disease affecting crops is part of the threats. Competition from other regions is another. The import produce or products is also part of the threats. Then price volatility in agricultural markets. As we don't have a cross-cut weighing or measuring system for most of our agri-produce, it normally leads to the volatility of pricing within the market for agri-produce. Then leveraging on the strengths and opportunities, we have infrastructure development. We also have financial services. So this one, private sector can tap in, and then it will be a good venture. Climate adaptation, pest management, market demand, economic zones. Short to long-term, long-term investments, attraction opportunity. So with our short to long-term, our objective is to increase the production of cowpea, millet, and cashew nuts in the district by 60% within 3 years. Then the strategic plan. This is the strategic plan with our goal, which is to be the hub of the production of cowpea, cashew nuts, and millet. Then the objectives, we have increased cowpea, cashew, and then millet production by 60% within 2 years. Then we have the strategies. We also have the broader activity, we have timeline, we have the cost, and then the responsible institutions or agencies. Then investment facilitation and support services. So this section talks about how the district can facilitate and support and provide support services to businesses. When you look at the vision or the goal of the district, we envision to be the economic hub within the region. So the objective is to ensure an investor-friendly environment characterized by clear procedures, accessible information, and proactive assistance. So with all these things, it can help in mitigating potential challenges as I indicated in the SWOT analysis. Facilitation of business support services. Within the assembly system, the key decision-making body is the district plan coordinating unit. That's the DPCU. So it provides a pivotal role in terms of overseeing the operations of various institutions and other committees within the assembly. We also have the finance and then the administrative subcommittee. We also have the agri and local economic development committee. Aside this one, we also have other working committees. For instance, when you look at the government productive safety net projects, we have a committee that is formed under it that oversees the implementation of activities within the projects. So responsibilities of the DPCU, we have coordinating of investment activities. So as a key decision-making body, it coordinates and implements the strategic plans that may come out of the entire plan. So they also support investors. Aside that, they carry out monitoring and evaluation. It also serves as a liaison with other committees, like I mentioned, adhering to regulations. So the last part of the strategic plan is the monitoring and evaluation. And we all know that for any project to be successful, from the plan, implementation, and execution stage, there should be monitoring. And at the end of the day, you should carry out an impact evaluation to see whether the project is successful or not. So with this one, at the end of everything, there should be a monitoring and evaluation. Okay. So we have the framework. And this is the components or the framework where we have objective setting, key performance indicators, data collection and analysis, reporting mechanism, review and adjustment. So this is the key performance indicators for the monitoring and evaluation. So we have the objective, we have the indicator type, the indicator definition, we have the baseline as in costs, we also have the targets, then disaggregation in terms of services, where we have the agri, the tourism, the manufacturing and others. Then the reporting frequency. So this is continuation of the key performance indicators for our NLE. Then how the NLE and the entire plan is going to be implemented. So we have preliminary research and analysis. So the action to be taken there is to carry out economic assessment, demographic study in terms of the population and other demographic features. Then we also have to do an infrastructure review where we do assessment on the various social infrastructure like the transport, the utilities, health and education, the market analysis. We also have the stakeholder engagement, meet with local traditional leaders and then the authorities within the community level, and carry out community survey. After that, you develop the strategy. So in terms of developing the strategy, you identify key sectors as I indicated, the agro, the industry, and the service sectors. Then you set a goal, then you develop your initiatives, then you do resources allocation. We also have the implementation plan where we have the timeline, the role casting, that's the roles and responsibilities, assigning roles and responsibilities to the various stakeholders. We also have budgeting and then risk management. Execution, we have pilot projects where we start with 2 or 3 just to see how it will go. And then we have capacity building, we have monitoring and evaluation. So we also have marketing and communication. At the end of the day, how do we market our products? So we have the strategies under that where we have target audience. Here the target audience will be the potential investors, the community members, the local authority, non-governmental organization, religious and traditional gatherings, then the media. With the media, we have both local and international media. So channels and tools for communication. So we have websites, we have social media, we have email campaigns, traditional media, press releases, documentaries, and other community meetings. Okay, so how to measure and evaluate? We have you reach and engage. The medium through which you can meet and then engage will be the tracking of website visits, the social media interactions, how active is the social media. Okay. So we also have the stakeholder feedback. We have the reporting. So in conclusion, we say that looking at the location of the districts, we are well prepared to receive potential investors and to render our support to ensure that we achieve the overall goal of the district. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now go to services. Yes, I see something you put it as tabletop fuel service. That is an illegal business. And I don't know how we can encourage this to the extent that we capture it as a business that can be recognized with potential. It's an illegality.
Tabletop.
Yes. Somebody wants to.
Tabletop. Number 1.
Actually, when you look at our area, sometimes how to even get fuel is a big problem. So those people who are selling it, they don't come to the level and buy it on the 4 gallon, the euro gallon, and then also come and then do it on the bottom, the empty bottles, and then they will have the price on it. And that one is even good for us, we those working. Because at any time you come out, the first station there's no before. But when you put to them, you can get access to it. So that's the mean, that's why they captured it there. So I don't know how.
I understand that. It is like a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Adaptation. But it is dangerous, hazardous. Nobody can just go buy fuel and go and burn the house. Yes. These sort of things they are being there. UNDP reps, UNDP and NDPC. Please, will you at the top there link up with Energy Commission to see, to come down, do some study, do some engagement, and see whether we can regularize those things by way of providing guidelines for the engagement. As is serving us, the coping mechanism. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, Chief. I think from where I sit, it could be converted to an opportunity. Yes, NADA is illegal, and there's a vacuum in the district. I don't want to talk of my district now, but it is honestly difficult to get formal filling stations within that enclave. So instead of leaving it this way, it could be an opportunity for potential yes.
I think it being here is not that we are promoting it. We are only highlighting the trends of economic growth within the sector. So an investor can see a trend in terms of this one, and then if it is going to be regulated, how is it going to be done? Or what opportunity can the investor tap from this? So it being here is not just, it's not like we are promoting it, but we are only highlighting it for a potential investor to come in. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't know to what extent can it be described as illegal business, but especially so when the fuel is not a smuggled one. It's a smuggled one. That one, in that regard, we can say it is an illegal business. Because I remember about 2 months ago, I traveled to Bunkpurugu for a program, and after the program, I wanted to buy fuel. There was no fuel in town. I was referred to Iddrisu. I was afraid, I didn't want to, I was afraid the fuel would be contaminated. So I had to manage with what I had in my vehicle to Chereponi. So as has been suggested, if there's a way we can regularize our operations at the end of the road, because we can't do without them in that environment where access to fuel from regular fuel stations is very difficult. Now, coming to the presentation itself, is quite detailed and indeed captures relevant development and investment initiatives in the district. I wanted to see something about the project itself. Those youths and the women who have been empowered through this project, how are they fared in the district? I don't know whether it's part of the design of the presentation. That would have informed us as to whether we are doing well in respect of the implementation of this project. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Director. We need 3 more questions.
Yes, my name is Abdurrahman Hussein, BAC from Yuntoo-Nasuan District. From the presentation, I realized that you made a comparative analysis between performance of some commodities to other districts. I want to know the rationale behind that. Why did you make comparative analysis instead of telling us what you have? But you did comparative analysis. What is the rationale?
I think you're right. In fact, when he mentioned
Chereponi.
The next person for question. Where is it? I'm saying that. Let's finish the question, and then you will respond to it.
Okay. So, I think I just want to. My name is Ransford Kani, the Regional Manager for Benin Association, Northeast Region. I appreciate the form and the model the presentation was made, and bringing out the sectoral analysis clearly for us to see. But I will start by answering a question on, not answering, Coordinator DCD from Chereponi. Your question as to whether because the thing is not smuggled from a neighboring country, it is not an illegality. It is an illegality. Once you have not been licensed, your environment space has not been regulated in business, it is an illegality. Are we clear with that?
Yes.
Good. So the next thing is this. All the projects you have done under safety network and all that, a question came up to you that they did not see it. That is an opportunity you should have brought out. The actors in that space that you have created. What do you want investors to do along that value chain? So that should be an area you should specify and hammer for investment opportunities. I wanted to see that clearly, but I didn't see it. Okay? So you talk about CAPI, yes, which is very good when we talk about Bunkpurugu-Nakpanduri District, there is no doubt about it. But running out of supply is an indication that much is needed.
Thank you very much, sir. Next person.
While you were doing your presentation, you mentioned that 2022 and 2023, well, this thing was listed under the food, planting for food project. I want to know the reason behind that. What was the cost?
Thank you very much. I think we have a set of questions, and you can try to respond.
Okay, thank you very much. I think I've been able to capture two of the questions. I think the others were more like contributions or inputs into our plan. So with the first one, why comparative advantage? You were asking why I compared our districts in terms of our outputs to the neighboring districts, instead of highlighting on what we've done. Where? Oh, Yuntoo. Okay. So the essence of the sectoral analysis matrix is to highlight one, the commodities, either the commodity or the area that you have comparative advantage of. Then you analyze it in terms of, you show the investor why your districts.
Yeah.
You understand? Exactly. What I was expecting you to challenge me on was the figures that are indicated for your districts. Maybe if what I said, especially the cowpea, 4,890 for Yuntoo. If this figure was not accurate in terms of your outputs for the agriculture area, that one you could raise concern, and then I'll tell you where I had the figures from. You understand? You say we didn't indicate what we can do. The first sentence, the district produce, I've given you what we are producing currently. And I have also proved why our district should be the best.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
For potential investor. You understand? So that's the essence of thank you. some of the projects and programs that we have done. For instance, when you look at the Ghana Productive Safety Nets, when you look at the Youth Start, I think these are all initiatives that government and other agencies initiated. And our districts were one of them that benefited from these initiatives. And manager indicated that we should have listed the key actors within those areas and then the outputs. For instance, the Youth Start, I think it was implemented by the NDPC, now the GEA, the District GEA office. So they facilitated that. The Ghana Productive Safety Net has a lot of components. The key component, which is the productive inclusion, we have a lot of district actors within that component that implement activities within that area. And the component normally look at the income generating activities, so identify some of the income generating activities within the area. Then they will pick the vulnerable groups or the vulnerable people, particularly the lead households. They will train them, they will give them first batch of trainings, which is the financial and then the social aspect. That's the social skills.
Yeah, I think
then after that,
so the program has one last question.
Yes, so the last question was
why it was banned?
Okay, so I think my agriculture is here. He will tell us why the district was banned. Hey, no, it was blacklisted. It was blacklisted. It wasn't banned. So I think it wasn't only our district. I think a number of districts. Like Yuntoo, I don't know. Okay, so the agri officer will give you the reason.
That's all. You see, in 2022, there was not planting for food and jobs throughout the country. Yes, but the 2023 that you mentioned, the issue had to do with smuggling. So Bunkpurugu and Chereponi were blacklisted from being part of the PMG in that year. Thank you.
Yes, I'm Queen Cecilia from Bunkpurugu area, the Queen Mother of Tojimbu. In the presentation, you mentioned so many things, but I didn't see anything about vegetable production. And in my community, like Tojim and then Kenkam, most women, that's what we do. So maybe the disassembly can capture something about this. Because in my area, women don't have lands. So the cultivation of vegetable will help. I think from 2018 to 2019, there was this support from Westphal Rural Bank, which actually supported with some equipment that up to now is making the vulnerable women to get livelihood on that. So I've not seen anything. Then the last one too is about poultry. When I go to my area, every household has fowls, pigs, and others. I didn't see anything about poultry. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Queen Mother, or Queen. Yes, this project that we are doing, we have a support to dry season farmers in the Tojim area as we are talking about. We have supplied them with water pumping equipment, and that is what they use instead of using watering can. So this year they produce a lot of vegetables. We have also supported the Bunkpurugu group with similar support, as well as they have the water pumping machines for irrigation, and they have a lot of we give them a lot of quality seeds that they will use to do. So that's why I'm happy that somebody said that they expected some of the achievements of this project also highlighted in there. So maybe with time the district assemblies will show more interest in what we are doing, so that you'll be able to capture the outcomes we are also achieving, or the contribution this project is having on the districts. Thank you very much.
Yes. is